There he is.
What up? What up? What
There
up?
he is. Sir Style Bell. What's up, baby?
What up, E?
Man, how you feeling, man? Thank you for
Blessed.
being on.
Blessed.
Last minute decision. The universe always respond at the right time, and here you are.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man? Happy Friday.
I appreciate it, man, being able to be on here with you, bro. I apologize for all the people that's jumping on here expecting it to be somebody better than me, but you know, we here.
No, shit, you the man. We about to talk about everything and then some.
Yeah.
So to people who don't know, me and Style go back probably like 10 years. I met Style in an audition for some commercial, and they literally pulled out a check like, bro, you see this? I'm like, what's that? Man, Herbalife, man. Like, you should get on my team. And so I signed up under him. I remember him and Celeste, one of the people in his business group, and they were at the table, living in Culver City. You had a roommate at the time. And when I tell you, when you see somebody start from like literally nothing, like not having a car to ride a bike, like this man has changed and transformed his life into like amazing things. And I watched it. It worked. I was a little bit skeptical on the front end of it. I didn't stick to it. He did, and he blossomed and he boomed and he's killing it. He's winning it. He's like top 1%ers in the company, right? Income. And I just really want to just say, man, congratulations on all your success, man. The progress, determination, the drive, the fitness, the spiritual fitness, the mental fitness, the physical fitness.
Yeah.
You know, staying consistent. And I admire that, bro. You inspire me. So I'm just happy to witness it, to see it. And your development is crazy. But what kind of, this is why Instagram and social media is so phenomenal. I think you put up a reel the other day and you had like this nice suit on and, you know, nice watch. And as you walk in, maybe it was a TikTok, like words was coming down, like, you know, lost my mom at a certain age, was in foster home, was beaten bad, couldn't read at a certain age. And like, I'm like, whoa, hold up, huh? Like all these things about you I never knew. Like I knew about your mom's situation. I didn't know the details, but I knew it was tough for you coming up and the challenges you face. But I'm only saying that to say this to people because most times people in our position, the people in general, we might think we know them, but we don't really know them. Right. Because sometimes we don't even know ourselves, right? And I just wanted to start off and say, you know, with all the adversity and the challenges and the pain, had a lot of pain as a kid. How did you turn that pain into success? And more importantly, what did that pain do to you mentally to make you feel like you had to do something with your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that, you know, I think the entire conversation starts with being vulnerable, right? Yeah. And I think as a man, most men in general, right? Especially if you grew up in like an urban area or if you grew up with very humble beginnings. I don't want to do the whole stereotypical, like if you fall down, get up, you a man, right? I don't want to do that because I think that's like kind of played out now. But I do think that as a man, we are not taught how to ask for help. We're not taught how to be, like if you want to cry, it's okay to cry. We're not taught like it's okay to ask for help. Yeah. Like when we really break down, like asking for help could be like, yo, you don't really know how to tie your shoes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the concept of it, but like once you start running, they fall apart. Yeah. And I think because as men, we start off with that kind of acknowledgement and awareness. It's scary to say I can't read. Right? Let's go back to like second grade. I can remember going home in the school saying, okay, you can go to third grade. And my mom being like, but you can't even read. Like you can't read this book or whatever it was I was reading at the time. And I remember my mom going back to school and being like, absolutely not, when my son goes to the next grade if he can't read. Now, that was a good decision, but as a child, it sucked because now I'm taller than everybody in the next class, right? And I'm stronger than everybody in the next class, but technically I'm not as smart. Yeah. You understand? So it became like, Even in all the way into high school, I could remember playing sports and being like better than some of the other people. And then I remember a kid said to me, "The only reason why you can beat me is because you're older than me."
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
It wasn't really about the skill or the talent. So many times, like, you were made, you know, from second grade all the way until 30, that I had to handle that kind of like, not being valuable enough or not being strong enough. And so I think what happened was I was conditioned to believe that being strong was the way you had to be. And being vulnerable made you weak or slow or, you know, can't read. Go back to that, right?
Yeah.
And also being vulnerable made your family look bad.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, let's not, like, there's people that grew up with both parents, but not really.
Yeah.
But you would be in trouble if you said, yo, my father, he was there, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, he came home every day, but there was no relationship, or your mom, vice versa. So what a lot of us tend to do is pretend like everything is perfect because we want the Cosby like family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we want to be as close as we can to being, you know, another race.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna I guess I did kind of go deep on that, but
you gotta go deep. I mean, this is what we hear.
Exactly. So what happened is I was afraid to say that I was physically beat. Right? Because that associates with, you know, being weak, or what most people feel sad for other people when they say they've been sexually abused.
Yeah.
Right? But they don't understand how the physical abuse, I don't want to compare the two at all.
Yeah.
But what they don't do is they don't consider that, like, they think like, oh, I was beat. I got whoopings, right? I got hit with
whoopings. Yeah.
You got whoopings, right?
Yeah.
But they don't understand the difference between, for me, it was like you could be asleep and they come in there and grab you and slam you on the floor, and or it's like all these things that, you know, I can't go to school because I got scars on my face, right? I can't go to school because I'm bleeding too much. You understand what I'm saying? So there's like times like that where you feel like you don't have no power, no control, right? Or I don't know if you've ever had a dream where you just felt like you wasn't strong enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're trying to fight somebody off, and like no matter how many times you hit it, there's no strength, there's no power, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like being trapped inside of your body, and you screaming for help, but you don't know what to do.
Right?
Damn. And so that's what it was like for me growing up. But I think the moment that I realized being vulnerable could help somebody else is what really opened up the door for me, right? Initially, being vulnerable was like, I got to be tough. I got to be the guy, right? Because they look at you and they look at me like, you tall, right? You in shape, like you supposed to be an athlete. You're supposed to be a specimen. You're supposed to be like, if we're gonna go hoop and somebody see you standing there and they like, I want him.
Yeah.
They just looking at you. You might can't shoot, you can't run, but you supposed to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
And so, especially as I can only associate with being black, y'all. So I apologize to any of the other ethnicities that may be watching this. But when people look at us, we supposed to be able to be good at football, basketball, track, right? Jumping. They don't look at us and be like, oh, he's the best reader, or he's the best debater, or he's the best doctor, right?
Yeah.
And so I always use sports as my outlet of my voice.
I like that.
Right? Like, I'm gonna beat you on the field. I'm gonna beat you here, right? So that you won't ask me any questions about my life.
Damn. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's deep, bro. And the reason I say it's deep, not only now that for me it makes more sense of why you're at where you are. It wasn't just the wording of it, the diction you use, the word choice, but it's how you was able to get to that thought, right? You got to that thought to make you feel a certain way. I'm gonna beat you on this field, on this court, so you'll never have to ask me about my life. That means you had to go somewhere far in your deep subconscious to figure out, okay, how do I become a person where I don't want to talk about my insecurities and my vulnerability? What do I need to do? How do I improve myself so I can neglect what's really hurting me? So no one can ask questions about that. Because I take it back to, like, I share something with people listening and watching, like, growing up, So I don't know what it's like to not have parents here living, right? Still here on earth with me. But my mom emotionally wasn't there, and my dad, he was a provider, not a guider. Never seen my mom and dad live together. So as I got older, I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, why didn't you never push me? Why didn't you motivate me? Why didn't you take me to the basketball court? Why didn't you, you know what he told me? He said, to be honest, son, when I was your age, my dad beat me. Like, put his hands on me. You know what I'm saying? Beat me up. Like, when I was 12 years old. So I can't relate to that. So it made me kind of like fall back and understand what he really was saying. He said, son, if you ever think about your life, I've never used negative words to you. I never put my hands on you. I never made you feel less of a kid or a man. And I was like, damn. And so it just shifted my whole paradigm.
Wow.
What I thought I should have had as a dad from him, but I didn't understand his upbringing. Right?
Yeah.
It makes you have compassion for your parents and whoever. But like you said before, you never know what someone's going through until you sit down and have the conversation. And to spring it forward, you know, you said you made sure as an athlete that you'd be great at everything, so you can stop that conversation of asking, you know, what you're going through or what you've been through.
Right.
And I still feel like as men, you know, like us, you talked about, because I get that a lot, Style. You know, Eric's motivating. He's positive. He's handsome. He works hard. He's caring. But no one ever thinks about what I go through or what I feel, right? So me being vulnerable with people, they like, really? You went through that? Most people think mom and dad are together.
Yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs. It was nice. You had everything. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
And so the perception gives people's projection of who they think we are, but it's really the opposite.
Yeah.
And that's why we can be on these lives and have these conversations. And like I said, when I saw that reel that you put out on your Instagram, it just made me think, you know, to take it back to the question, you know, how did you turn your pain into success? And you did that. You took your pain, and I have some friends who lost their mom and dad at 15 years old. And it's just a feeling that I'm pretty sure, you know, people who's been in that, you can't really describe it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my cousin was saying, he's like, look, people say, man, they was eating mayonnaise sandwiches and cereal with water. He's like, yeah, that's struggle. That's bad. But you can't bring a parent back to life. Right. You can't bring that back. It's different. Yeah. So it's a different intensity that comes with that sorrow and that pain. But at the same time, someone like yourself, how did you use that energy, right? That pain, that suffering, and how did you? What part of that energy made you want to say, you know what, man? I'm tired of this, man. I don't want to be in abandonment. I don't want to suffer no more. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to be beaten. I don't want to feel like I can't read and write. And like, what was that moment that came over and you say, you know, man, fuck this, man. I'm going to win no matter what. Like, you know?
You know what? The simplest answer is, Ian, I think that some people can relate to this. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I was already dead.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you've heard it a million times, right? Where they say, you know, a lot of people die before they go into their grave, right? Their dreams is dead, like everything. I was already dead. And I think people on here, I wish there was, you could probably come up with a better way to say what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right? Because you got the words.
And it's kind of like, so basically what Style is really trying to iterate and really say is that dead meaning like vibration, frequency, like your frequency is so low and your vibration is so low that you don't even look like you're here. You're living. You're like sleepwalking. You're like not even aware of your thoughts and your emotions. You got so many blind spots and holes in your appearance that you don't even care. It's like nothing matters, no purpose, no sense of life. You're not living, you're just existing, and you're just you're not doing anything.
Exactly. Where you're influenced by everything. You're influenced by the music, the TV, the things you hear. There's no heartbeat to you.
Yeah, right.
And so what do they say? Like the rat race. Okay, so like if people that read The Rich Dad Poor Dad, they know about that, right? Like just being in a rat race, like at some point, all of us have that moment, I think, right? Regardless of your background, your education, how you grew up, or how I grew up, there was a point where you either made a decision to live more or just go with the flow, whatever that flow may be, good or bad, right? And you decided, I'm not going to make no more excuses.
No more, bro.
Create my own reality, right? And so I was just tired, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like there's not a fancy way to say it. And I think people understand what I'm saying. They can feel it because they're probably tired.
Yeah.
Right. Or frustrated or angry. Right. And what happens is the problem though is they use their frustration and they try to mask it with alcohol or sex or drugs or vacations or this car they can't afford or something like that, right? Or TV, right? Or let's even make it even make more sense to some of you. Or exercise. They go to the gym 5 hours a day and they think I'm improving myself, right? Or overly developed with personal development. They immerse themselves
in there before.
Right. I know all the words to the Bible, right? And so what happens is they do some of these things, but they never confront. It's the same thing I did with the sports. Yeah. I became really good at sports so that I didn't have to confront my reality. And I think that's what people do.
I need to teach a master class to all athletes, man, because athletes coming out, they don't know how to live in reality.
Yeah.
The sports was their reality. Damn, that's deep.
Exactly. And so I just got tired, of feeling like that. I just got tired of being dead, like a zombie, a walking zombie. And I think people know a lot of your followers because they come to your page for inspiration. They like, yo, and then they come to your page for motivation. Then they come to your page to celebrate their life. I think you take people through a journey. They first just need to be inspired. Then they start making moves and they like, yo, I want to go see what E doing today. You know what I mean? So I can stay on the right track. And so for me, bro, I just was like, I remember one day I was riding my bike home and I still didn't know what I was going to do with my life. Okay. It was 11 o'clock PM. I had got off work. I had worked 8 hours. It was a Taco Tuesday at the restaurant that I was working at. Right. And Taco Tuesdays, tacos like $1.
You was at BJ's, right?
At the time I was at BJ's, but I was also working at a Mexican restaurant. Right. And so if I bring you 8 tacos and your tacos is $1, how much is your bill?
$8.
$8. But you're not thinking, I got to get you a taco, go to the back, get you a taco, go to the back, get you a taco, go to the back, clean the table, bring you something to drink, right? That's a lot of work, bro. And then your bill is $8. How much you going to tip me? Like, not you, but how much most people you think?
Hopefully at least $2.
At least $2. Get a man $2, right?
At least $2, baby.
So I got off work, E, and after 8 hours, I had $14 to my name. Okay? Because I got to tip the bartender, the busboy, the hostess. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had $14 in my pocket. I went outside to get on my bike, and it was raining, and I was like, grabbed my bike, and I had a flat tire, and I was like, fuck, man, right? I remember just taking the bike, and if you ride your bike on a flat tire, you're gonna mess up the rim. Yeah. But I was so mad that I was like, forget it. I'm just riding the bike, you know what I mean? And the wheels going, it's raining. And I remember I said, I'm like, yo, Style, like, you don't even know how you're gonna pay your rent. You know what I mean? And I'm started crying, bro, because I was 26 years old. And I'm like, how did I get here? How did I get to this? You know what I mean? Like, I knew my life was bad, but I always thought that at some point I'm going to have a break. Something going to change. Yeah. And I said, man, who can I call? And I thought in my head, you think of everybody, right? Obviously, my mom and dad is gone. I was like, oh, I can't call this girl. And I thought about my aunt. She was the only person I was like, I think my aunt would come and get me. But she like an hour and a half away, right? So I'm like, even if she do come, I can't put this wet bike in her car, right? And I remember I went home and I was like, man, it's on you. Like, you got to stop blaming everybody else or looking for somebody to jump out of the bushes and change your life. Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever had a moment like that for yourself, but for me, that particular moment was like, I got to man up.
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of my life is I'm talking to people, motivating them, I'm inspiring them, but I'm actually talking to the kid in me. Right. Like, come on, E, what you got? Okay, big dog, what you got? What you got? You talk all that motivation. What's up? You gonna get up at 5 a.m.? You gonna finish reading that book? You gonna take that chance on yourself? You gonna invest more money? Look, your money about to run. What you gonna do? And so it's like I was always on this path of like, all right, E, okay, how are you gonna motivate E today? I know you want to motivate everybody else, but how's that gonna get you going? And so what I started realizing was that the universe would talk to me like, but yeah, remember you said you can't talk it and not live it. Remember you said stop making excuses. Remember you said don't be lazy. Okay, E, look at you being lazy. You're procrastinating. What's up? So it was just always this spirit or this inner thing that was in me and over me, like that's pulling me like, come on, I need you. Come on, I need you. I need you. Then I would meet more people and be like, yo, E, what up? What's up? We need you. What's good? And I meet spiritual advisors and energy healers. Like, yeah, you the guy. We need you, E. And I'm like, damn, I need myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need myself.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I find me within me to be me for someone else?
Yeah.
And then, you know, things happen, opportunity comes, and you just deal with it. But you realize, like, or you talk to, like, you just said something probably like 5 minutes ago that I'm like, I didn't even think people came to my page for that. But it made me think like they do come for that.
Yes.
You celebrate. I'm like, damn, inspiration. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So it's always good to get perspective outside of your own realm because you don't never know how people are looking or what they're seeking. But I've always been on this path of, okay, let's motivate, let's stay consistent, let's help out. And it hasn't been easy, right? Because like you said, people look at us and like, yeah, man, you know, like, but I was telling a friend the other day, he's like, yeah, you know, we talk sometimes and the conversations are great. But when we get off the phone, it's real for me over there. I got to go back to reality. I'm like, shit, it's real for me over here.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, got more pressure on me than you do, you know?
Yeah.
But it's beautiful because for me, at least, not only watching you, you get to see someone really take chances on himself.
Right.
And then you get to see their advances. Like, damn, my buddy been at it for. Man, I remember doing that interview on a tennis court when you should have TGIMs.
Yeah.
In Culver City, and you had the shades on, and you know, I think you was growing your hair out at the time, and you had, I think you was driving an Audi then. You probably got like 4 or 5 cars. You know what I'm saying? Big boy stuff, right? So, and I think for you, because a lot of times when you're black and you come from the environments we grew up in, and you know, when we get material things, it's like to show off and. To like look what I got, but I think for you is more of like those are your trophies. Like you had to become, you had to go through, you had to keep going, and it's like, no, you know, you celebrate like you deserve it. Like others don't deserve it. I just feel like you carry yours with like prestige and you like you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel like look what I got. It's like nah, bro, you know every watch, wear every car, drive it, whatever you want, you know, have it, and I think. You are a representation of what, you know, a young black man coming from nothing. And I'm saying nothing. I'm not saying like not having food and shelter, but I'm just saying not even having guidance, not even having parents around. And
well, you know, I want to touch on that a little bit. I think I see a lot of people say something like they self-made, right? You see a lot of people that associate themselves with self-made. And I agree. And I strongly disagree.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to say why to a lot of people that's watching. When I say self-made, here's what I mean by that. Like my version of being self-made is different than most people. I think that the reason why I cannot say I'm self-made is because of God, right? And I'm not trying to be super spiritual for the people that's watching this.
No, we got to speak it because this is the underlying key point that people miss about success. If you look at all the great people, the P. Diddy's, the Jay Princes, the Tony Robbins, the Bob Proctors, the Les Browns, Eric Thomas, they got God in their voice in their life. They speak of it. So we ain't got to sugarcoat it like it's a spiritual currency. That's what you really
some people think like when they hear the word God, they think church every Sunday, going on Wednesday, understanding all the, you know, terminologies and stuff like that. And I think those things are great, right? But I don't necessarily can say that I do that all the time, right? But what I can tell people is something very important. There was a point in my life where I was grinding and I was hustling and I was like, get money and that kind of like mood, right? And I was creating success though. I was going from being hired to clean the restaurant to managing the restaurant.
Yeah.
Right? From $0 into my account to thousands of dollars in my account, traveling the world.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Seeing different places, from going through the Panama Canal and being in Hawaii and Honduras and right in Germany, and like meeting all kinds of people and women, and like when I say, like, in a sense, if the way I just said it, it sounds glorious. Right. But at some point I started to say, and I just want to say this to people that are watching this, it's never that I stopped believing in God. I just stopped giving God credit. And I started giving myself credit for what was happening. Style, yes. You did the work. You woke up early. You working 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
Right. You deserve all these things that are coming to you. Right. And just what I think that the devil don't take no break, y'all. Yeah. Right. He didn't wake up today and be like, I'm going to take it easy on E, or I'm going to take it easy on Style. Yeah. Right. It's just we've created a different kind of focus that doesn't allow us to absorb that energy, and we use it in a different place. So what happened was I moved to LA. I had like maybe $15,000 saved to my name at that time. Moved to LA, got an apartment with my cousin, right? We was in Toluca Lake, had a little car. Things was looking good. I'm like, I'm gonna do the modeling thing, right? Yeah. I'm excited, bro. Like let's get it. And then, like, you know, my cousin can't pay, I can't pay. We paying rent, doing a car note. Long story short, people like, hey, Style. At the time I did a small little commercial, so people started seeing the commercial. They like, and the commercial might have paid me $500. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
But when people see you on TV, they associate that with money, right? So you know that better than me.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Right. And so I'm letting people borrow money because I'm thinking they're gonna pay me back. Oh, it's my family, it's my friends. I looked up, and car got repossessed. Couldn't stay in my place no more, right? And in a long story short, everything was gone, and I was like, you know, sleeping on girls' couches and all kind of stuff like that. My friends go out of town, and one day I said, oh shit. I was like, bro, you've been tripping this whole time. You've been saying that you did all this. You got the car, you got the place, you got this, you got that. And I said, and I remember saying this, I said, if God ever gives me the opportunity again, right, I'm not going to ever forget where all this came from.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that to celebrate God, you got to be like having a cross on and be like TD Jakes or somebody like that. And it could just be before you go to bed being like, yo, God, thank you so much for, you know what I mean, this opportunity. Thank you for letting me have people like E in my life. Yeah. Right. So it don't have to be on this Joel Osteen kind of vibration. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It can be light, you know, because less is more, and small things pay big dividends if you're consistent to them. If you're consistent at saying a small prayer every day for a minute, if you're consistent in telling your girl, your mother, your sister, your brother, you love them every day for 60 days, those little things turn into big things. But people don't know how to have faith small as a mustard seed. They think you got to have big faith to get big achievements. No, you just got to have small enough faith to keep you there, to keep you going. Because once you get to the big thing, you'll really understand how big faith is in your life. That system, right? Of that unknown that you know is there, but you don't see it, but you feel it. And a lot of times we psych ourselves out like, man, I'm tripping, man. Like, no, you ain't tripping, homie. No, sweetheart, you're not tripping. You know your worth. You know what you deserve. But you need that faith. You need that belief. You need those eyes that can't see, those ears that you don't even have, but you hear. It's a different ear. It's a different see. Yeah. And we can't take for granted that power of that. I like to call it divine energy, man. Divine source of energy. You know, but people always say, well, I don't like when people say they give, like, you know, they make God the universe and they believe in the universe. I said, well, look, to me, God is the universe, right? I look at it like this. The universe is your body, right? Because you can see it, you can feel it, we can see the universe, right? Boom. But God is your soul. You can't really see your soul, but you know you have one. That's God. So
Right.
God is the universe. Universe, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all in one, but it's all how you interpret it. So it's man, life has been a journey, bro.
Yeah.
Been in like 11 years, man, and I'm just proud to have known you for so long, to see you being consistent, you continually to develop and rise. But let's shift the conversation and let's talk about Herbalife, man. Like I think,
Right.
you know, I think Drake has a line to say, "If I got it, then I got it. Then just give me some acknowledgement." And shouts out to Herbalife. You know what I'm saying? Herbalife has changed a lot of lives. But for you personally, when you think of Herbalife, what do you think about? What's the first thing come to mind for you?
The first thing that comes to mind is they don't care about your background, your education, your skin color. I think that this particular company, in a nutshell, cares that do you care about other people?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Because if you think about me, when I came into the company, I'm very clear, and I tell this when I go around the world and I speak, I say, yo, the guy that y'all got to see on stage is not the same guy that started.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not. Like I know that I've, become a better version of myself. And it's because of the principles, right? Number one is like personal development is a strong, like, they're so adamant about personal growth, right? Even if you think about the founder of the company, he brought on Jim Rohn. You know what I mean? Like he's the guru of this.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's because for somebody to invest, I don't even know what that investment was like, but to invest that kind of money, right, into Jim Rohn versus technology or versus let me give out this or that, right? That just goes to show you like the principles, right? And then two, we're in the business of, obviously we're selling a product, but think about what the product and the quality of the product is made up of, right? And then three, we're rewarded off of results.
Results. There you go.
Are you following what I'm saying? And so when I think of that, that's what I think of. But I wanted to say something, E, that I've never, that has to be a part of Herbalife too, is when I was talking about being self-made and not self-made, right? I didn't get to hit the principle. My principle on that was, I always say it's God's way of giving you little hints or God's winks or guardian angels, right? That come into your life, right? And a lot of times people like yourself, you're on this path of being really successful or being a great actor, etc. Right? I don't want to limit your skills to just being an actor, but let me just say.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even consider myself an actor.
Well, that's my point, right? That's what people would think, right? So I don't want to. That's why I say I don't want to limit you to that. But what happens is, a lot of times we don't pay attention to the signs.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the very beginning, for me, I ran into a guy. His name is Brian Holyfield, right? And he was talking to me about Herbalife and some other stuff, but I didn't know who I was yet. Yeah. And so when he said it, I'm like, I don't want to ask this dude for help. Yeah. You know what I mean? Scratch that. Right. And so then I ran into another guy that said, hey, you remind me of Brian Holyfield. I'm like, God, it's God's way. I think for me, I'm not self-made because God was already like, I'm going to put this person in your path. I'm going to put the next person in your path. Right. And so then I had to call him on the phone. Yeah, I called one of my friends. Hey, give me Brian's number. I called the dude. Hey, bro, what's up, man? What's up with this Herbalife thing, man? He like, bro, I made $200. Like, it wasn't a lot of money, but $200 at that time.
Oh, yeah. I had to work 2 weeks for $400.
Right. So he's like, bro, I'm wearing my button in the club. And I'm like, any guy that's willing to wear a button, you know what I'm saying, in a club, like, he got to think, he like, bro, one day I'm going to retire my mom. And I'm like, yo, this dude's serious, right? So he like, look, bro, he like, I don't know who told you about it, but if I was you, get in. Now, mind, he not benefiting from me by telling me this. He just giving me some like advice. And so then you got to think of like all those people that came along the way, right? Like when I was in Job Corps, people was telling me like, yo, Style, you're going to be somebody one day. Yeah. Right. So it's like all these people, I think God puts you in your place to show you like, and you probably have a million stories here, like where you woke up and you had no idea you was going to be sitting such and such house today. It just happened because of who you were. And I always associate those moments with God saying, E, you on the right track. You're on the right track. You're on the right track. I might not give you some people think they need to have the nicest car or the nicest house to know that was God. Right. But he might just be like, yo, E, I'm gonna put some food on your table tonight, and tomorrow I'm gonna introduce you to X and X person, right? And you like, yo, it's crazy. How did I get here, right? And so I kept paying attention to those signs, bro.
Signs, man. It's so.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's how Eric Thomas came into my life.
Yeah, because you the one who put me on the ET. Motivation.
Right. So it's like,
I mean,
yo, I couldn't sleep.
Then. Yeah.
I couldn't sleep. I found ET, and I'm like watching the videos. He yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? Like his energy is crazy. And I'm like I went to probably every one of my friends I could tell at the time. That's probably why I told you. I was like, yo, you gotta watch this guy. I know he's intense. He's crazy, but you gotta watch this guy. Right. And so ET said something, y'all. He told me, he said, everybody's dream is not your dream.
Yeah.
Right. So people gonna come to you with opportunities. They like, yo, you smart, you charming, you're intelligent, you're in shape. I want you to sell X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't do motivation no more. You can't act no more. You can't do this no more. But we're gonna pay you a lot of money to do this other thing. Right. What happens is a lot of people do that. They start working at Costco or Target. They go to college or they go become a lawyer or a doctor or a teacher. All those things are fantastic, my friends.
Yes. But
that might not have been what your calling was.
Yeah.
Okay. And so someone offered me when I very first started Herbalife, they was gonna pay me 10 grand a month to do fitness, mindset, and help the children. They had this whole nonprofit organization that they already had the funding for. Yeah. They saw my drive, my dedication, my focus, and was like, yo, you will be perfect for this. You already love fitness. You already love helping your community. You already love kids. We're going to pay you. But the one thing you cannot do is talk about Herbalife, because these programs that you go to, they didn't want to associate their nutrition and their stuff with the company. Yeah. At the time in Herbalife, I was making probably $300. Wow. Wow. And they came to my house with a contract. Damn. And I'm sitting at the table and they showing me everything. Here's this pillar, here's this pillar, here's this pillar. And they like, this is gonna be your pillar. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, 10 grand? Like, yo, I'm spending it in my head. I'm like,
yeah, I need that. I need that.
Herbalife only giving me like 300 right now. Like, I'm like, yeah. But God had already showed me that my life is bigger than 10. Yeah, bigger than 10. Right? It was bigger on a global scale. Yeah. Right? And so I was like, let me just think about it. Because I couldn't say no right away. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, and it came back to me. And I remember going like, I can't doing it, because I had just listened to Eric Thomas, and he was like, yo, people come to me with these great ideas. Right? And they're like, yo, you got the money, invest into this. Like, he like, I don't want no car wash. Or I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like, that's your dream. That's not my dream. Right. And I remember thinking like, that's not my dream. That was a hard choice though. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not on this slide to talk about where I'm at now. But what I will tell you guys is it was worth turning down that. And some people don't do that, bro.
And there's a decision. That's what people take for granted, decisions. Decisions shape your destiny. You know, Tony Robbins said it's not your conditions, it's your decisions. It's decisions you make that's going to get you to the next level. I made a decision to call you today, FaceTime. Now, are you available to do a IG Live interview? That was a decision. If I didn't make the decision, we wouldn't be here talking this.
Yeah. Or you would have went to bed tonight going like, yeah, I should have called my boy. I thought about it. And you just did it. And then you don't do it tomorrow. And then you don't do it the next day. And then now you look up.
Yeah, and it's interesting when you say people want to pay you to do this. I remember there was a moment in my life where like the men in my family that I looked up to, like my uncle, my dad, and like others, is like, man, you need to go get a real job. You need to go be a correctional officer. You need to go find a trade. And you know, I'm like, you need to stop doing all those YouTube and those motivation videos. This is when I was broke, bro. Like broke. And I'm like, man, miss me with all that, man. I still was frustrated. I was broke. I was angry. I'm out here by myself. I'm in a one bedroom with roommates. I'm like trying to figure this shit out, man. Like, and then life fast forward, then them same people, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. I would have made that decision, right? I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Why
Because
didn't you
I had
though?
to go against the grain
But
to follow what was in me, to follow my heart, to get where I'm going, to get where I'm at, so I can evolve and have the freedom and the time to be on a live with someone midday on a Friday.
But what like, okay, so like the thing is, like, we as people that we are, mentors, leaders, whatever people call us, right? What was the thing though? What was the you sitting there and you can't eat, bro? You skipping meals, like you in a room with another person, you just want your own space, and it's so easy for you to go get a job, right? What was it though? What was the thing? What was the, like, I can't? If you could give it to, because the people that's watching, that's what they want to know.
Well, what it was I was playing small in my mind. I wasn't. My life changed when I started investing in myself.
Okay.
See, I got really good at investing in others, putting them first, taking care of them, helping them, motivating them. But I wasn't putting that energy into myself. I was 28 years old, bro. I'm literally in a one bedroom with another man. I'm like, bro, we can't do this. Like, bro. Like, he worked that night, I worked on the day, or when I worked on it, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, this ain't it.
Mm-mm.
And literally, when I went to go move from that apartment to the next one, my rent jumped. I was probably paying like $650. In fact, I think I heard it was like $1,400, $1,350 at the time in a one bedroom. And my rent jumped to like 3 times that, right?
Yeah.
And my boy who was with me at the time was like, this your spot right here. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, bro. I don't think I can afford that, man. He like, man, I'm telling you, I didn't have faith, right? Because I'm thinking like, that's dumb. Why would I spend this amount of money for rent, right? I never done this. I never took this chance.
Yeah.
So then the funny thing is, this is how to go back to that sign, bro. God works in amazing ways. So I got to be out of my spot by the end of August. I think it was like maybe 2015 or 16 summer. I think it was 16 summer. And so I went to a spot in Miracle Mile, 1 bedroom, 1270. I'm like, ooh, boom, I can get that. Yeah. It wasn't the best, but it was my, my spot.
Yeah.
Man. So I go back to Baltimore for like 10 days. I come back and the lady says, she's like, I'm sorry, sir, you didn't get approved. Bro, I was tight. I got 3 days left, bro. 3 days left, bro.
Yeah.
But check this out. Right next door to that building is a more upscale glass door, gym, wooded floors, stained in steel. My boy said, yo, let's go over here. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't think I can afford that. That just kind of look too fancy, right? This is playing it small. Bro, we go in there. We talk to the lady. She's like, the deposit's going to be this, it can be that. I was like, well, maybe I get my mom or somebody to co-sign. So I leave with the application. And like the next day, that night, bro, I get an email, bro. I like broke down in tears, bro. She's like, by the way, we didn't need your mother to get approved. You got approved on your own.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. How did the lesser spot tell me I didn't get approved, but the better spot told me I got approved? I was like, that's God's way of telling me you belong in this shit. You know what I'm saying? And literally, bro, 6 months after I moved into that place, because I changed my frequency, I'm telling the universe I want more. I'm spending more money. 6 months. Top of the year, I'm on TV. And then but it was a decision.
Yeah.
All because I made a decision. I shift my paradigm. I saw myself in a different way, but all because I invested in E. I was good at investing in others. I wasn't good at investing in me. And then once I did that, man, it was just like, yo, wow. And the part of when I was on the show, I was like, yo, this is like a movie. This can't be real. Because there was moments in my life, bro. There was literally in LA. And by the way, before I went on the show, I had booked a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
A national commercial I couldn't do. Because we were filming at the same time. Like, huh? I haven't booked a commercial in 2 years. I'm gonna book it now? Bro, I was tight, but I was just like, if God got a way, he got a will.
Yeah.
But there was times where I feel like I would get some momentum. No. Momentum, no. Momentum, no. So when this show came, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. I feel like I'm about to get another no.
Right.
And next thing you know, my whole world changed.
Wow.
And it was all because I had to have faith when it mattered, because when it was time for me to move, I had no choice. I had 3 days left when I got back in town. You got to be gone brother, by the 31st, you got to be out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so by me taking that chance, it allowed me to advance. And then I just, every year, just get better, get more, get better, get more. And so I always challenge those on here listening and thinking, challenge yourself. Stop playing small. I had my last guy, Matthew Sortoro. He Canadian, 6 million subscribers. And he said his boy forced him to sell Bitcoin. He had Bitcoin for like 4 years. He held it. He told him to sell it at 11,000 in October. He sold it for 11,000. In January, it went to 20,000. Or December, it went to 20,000. He said, I would have made $5 million. I would have had $5 million worth of Bitcoin. He said, but he was telling the listeners, he said, look, when you have a vision inside of you that God puts in you, you cannot go against it. You can't go against what you know is true. I don't fuck with nobody say. Your mother, your father, the pastor, the whoever. You gotta listen to what's in you, because I always moved on my intuition.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if my intuition tell me something, even if it's like, I don't make sense. Like, when I went on the show, I knew I had to go on the show. And when I said yes to the show, I was in a car by myself with no one around to give me help. Yo, what you think I should do? What you think I should do? Nah, it's all you. You make a decision.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we have to be confident and comfortable and have faith in making decisions we know that's going to propel our life. And here's the thing about success as well. When you grow and you grow, you lose people, right? People fall off. People you thought would be still there. People that you got love and care for, they somewhat disappear if they don't belong there. Yeah. And it's a fight up, but it's more peace, but it's less people.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I think about that, I agree with that, E. And I think that people come in your life for moments for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think you was going to get to that. And I think sometimes people think, well, I don't want to be, because some people block their blessings so that they can stay with those people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? They like, I want to keep my friends. I don't want people to feel like I became bourgeois, right? Like, and so they like, yo, I'm going to stay down here so they can feel like I'm real. Yeah. Not knowing that their biggest potential is going to invite them into a whole nother conversation, right? And some of those people, I'm going to be honest with y'all, they're going to come with you, right? But in their way, right? So you got to, like, what I love about some of my friends, like even with you, like, I've never been like, yo, you got to come do this, right? At some point I invited you, you did your thing, but I'm never going to be like, okay, you're not my friend no more, right?
Absolutely.
But the reason why I can still rock with you is because you're going after what you want.
Right.
And sometimes what happens is, like my nephew told me 2 years ago, my two nephews, they say, yo, you know why we appreciate you? And I'm like, what? They were like, you showed us that we can be more. And sometimes people forget that. Like, you got to give access to your friends, your family, your loved ones. They need you to win. Like, they literally, your people that's going to be mad that you left, deep down inside, they're going to be so happy. They might not ever say it to y'all. They might not tell you like, yo, cuz, I'm so glad you left, blah, blah, blah. Every time they see you, they're going to give you shit. Like, when I walk into my family's house, they be like, oh, man, the Herbalife guy's here, right? Yeah. But I'm sure, bro, inside they like, yes, like, you know what I'm saying? When they see you on TV, they're like, I know that guy. Like, you know what I mean? They still might be on the streets in Baltimore, but they like, yo, I used to run with him. I used to shoot with him. Like they feel good when they see you.
It does something to their soul for sure.
But they not, and some people don't understand that just because they don't celebrate you outside, they don't like clap for you, or they don't text you, or they don't check on you. It don't mean that they did need to see you win though. Yeah, right.
I've never heard
I want to sit on that, like, so people can understand, like,
you need to do a video on that YouTube and break
your family needs you. Your mom needs you. Your dad needs you. Your nephew, your brother, they need to see y'all in a different place so they can have access to it. Yeah. Right? It may be different though.
They're by themselves because we don't need to see them, or they don't need to see us when they feel like, because people feel like because we're here, they don't want to see us when they're not there or don't feel like they're there. And they already, with us, we can see right through. Like, we don't care about that. We just see that you are. But at the same time, you got to come with it. You can't just be talking and not doing.
Yeah.
So I've never heard it in that form.
Bro, this is when I learned it. When I was in Job Corps, I had this one guy, big dude, hated me, bro, for whatever reason, bro. He hated me. Yeah. But I did all my best things to avoid his situation, right? Like, yo, I'm like 185. This dude like 250 something. He tall. He a big dude. I'm like, yo, I don't really want no smoke with him. You know, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I can hold my own, but like, I just don't want no. Right. And so one day, I was walking back to my dorm, and I had my girl with me, and he walking in, and I'm like, yo, like, oh man, like here we go, right? I already knew, right when I saw him, and so this is, and I don't promote no violence. I want to say that, but I guess this day he was like, you're not avoiding me. So he walked up to us, pushed my girl, bro, on the ground. Ooh. So what do you do? What do you do? Ooh. What do you do? You can't at that point be like, hey, you good? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
So I did what I had to do. We was tussling, we was going at it, and thank God my basketball coach caught us, bro, and he brought us into the room, set us down, had a conversation. He said, you know, I can kick both of y'all out. Right. And I'm like, yo, at this time, I'm so focused. I'm doing my thing. Like, this dude is a loser to me. In my mind, I'm like, he got to go. But yeah. I got to fight him. I have to.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Or at least I thought I had to. We always got an option, y'all. I just want to be clear. Like,
choices.
And so this is what happened, bro. I graduated. And I cannot tell this story no different, y'all, but I cannot believe this. So I graduated. He didn't graduate, but he was at the graduation. And like, I got my little gown on, I'm walking, and he walking up to me. I'm like, oh no, like, bro, not at graduation. Like, I don't want to have to throw him with this dude at graduation. Right.
Yeah.
And he like, style. And I'm like, what? He's like, man, you know what? I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, I never told you this, bro, but I really look up to you. Woo! I couldn't believe it, bro. I swear to God, when I tell you, he said, he's like, I know I gave you shit, but he was like, but you was so focused, you was dedicated, you was working at he's like, that shit used to piss me off, bro. Like, damn. And I'm like, what? Like, in my head, I'm like, I swear, bro, I lost sleep some nights over, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this whole time, it was because you was like really like admiring, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we could have handled this a long time ago, you know? But we just don't know. But that showed me that some of these people that we call haters, you know what I'm saying?
I feel it. Hey, man.
They really not, bro. They are.
Yeah, they're not. They just admirers, man. Just they don't understand how we are the way we are. And it's like, we don't have no choice. That's another thing people don't understand. Well, I can't speak for you. I can speak for me. Like, I've been put in positions I don't have a choice but to be what I need to do what I need to do. I have no choice. There's no going back home. There's no, we're not doing that. So when you make it like Tony Robbins said, burn the boats. Burn the boats. Stay on the island. You have nothing. What you gonna do? You gonna sink or you gonna swim? You gonna run or you gonna fight? I'm a fighter, bro. I'm a peaceful warrior, but I'm a fighter, bro.
Thanks.
Like, I'm not letting nothing stop me. No one. Not even myself. But sometimes you gotta have your back against the wall just to see what's in you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't put themselves in those positions because they're afraid of that side of them. Like, that side of you is going to change you into a whole nother being. You don't have no choice. Mm-hmm. But that's true. I feel that. People they admire it. They just don't know how to acknowledge it. So the only thing they can do is hate it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
You know? It is what it is, but much love to them. Haters.
They gotta look in the mirror. So for all the people that maybe they're not at where he is at, where I'm at in life, but let's say they started their own little thing, right? Their own little gig, their own little job. It's like some of those people that may be upset with you or frustrated. The only reason why is because they gotta look in the mirror.
Yeah. Right?
They looking at you and they're like, yo, she doing her thing. Or it don't matter her age and she's still making it happen. And now they go home and they look at themselves and they like, yo, you waking up late. You're not putting the right stuff in your body. You ain't taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so they get mad at themselves, but it's so much easier to blame you. So for all the people that's watching, like, just because they blaming you, don't take on their responsibility. Like, just stay true to your lane.
Locked in.
You know what I mean? And stay locked in. And I think that's a really big part of success. You know?
And that's a huge perspective, brother. Like I always say, perspective is everything. And this is also to people listening. especially my brothers and sisters that grew up the way we grew up.
Right.
Go outside of your comfort zone. Go hang out with people you're not familiar with. Go do business with people you don't understand. Like, change your environment so you can change your psyche, right? So you can have a different experience internally about how you see yourself versus how someone else sees yourself. Because most times we might look at someone else seeing us and take that on as that's what we are. It's like, no, it's not true. Go outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to grow and be different for a better reason, because you'll learn something not only about yourself, but about the life you want to live. And we can't be afraid to take risks. Like, we can't stay in a box. Don't live in a box. Don't live in a, like, if I didn't have friends and people from all over the world and didn't study different people who are not black and who didn't come up the way, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Don't limit yourself to what you can have in this world. Like,
how many people you think Eve never left Baltimore?
I say out of all the people there, I probably say
like
75%.
Never. I'm talking about just never even went to Texas or Chicago or United States. Like, but people don't understand. Like, growing up in Oakland, I know people that have never left Oakland.
Yeah.
And have no desire to go see France or Brazil or, you know what I mean? Like, literally, like, they see the Cancun boy and they like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay right here on East Street.
And the thing is, people are afraid. What I also discovered, Style, is that it's not in everybody's destiny or purpose to do that. So I challenge people to say, if that's not your journey, not your purpose, find out who you are. Because I think that's what helped me understand where I'm going. Because I know who I am, and what I want. So I can't say, yo, do what I do. Like, nah, don't. Like, I had a old guy that's always asking for money. He's like, comes and goes. He's like, yeah, young blood, I want your life. I was like, you don't want my life. You don't want my problems, homie. And I said, don't think because it looked good that it is all good. Because I'm dealing with problems that you probably wouldn't even think of. But you're going off what it looked like. And the responsibility is different. But I always say we have to get to know who we are on a root level so we can understand what is my purpose. I can't worry about what Style purpose is because I don't even know how Style got there. I got an epiphany today that made me think, like, thou should not judge for one real reason. Because no one knows what anybody goes through. So if a person has $1 billion, if a person has no money, I can't judge them. Because I don't know what they went through, what they're going through. I have no attachment to what they're doing. Like, I had to tell myself, and this is for people watching, just because you have an opinion about someone or something doesn't validate the truth that you believe about it.
Facts.
Your opinion doesn't matter because you don't know the truth about that situation. So stop having an opinion that you think is right for that person or thing. You don't know what that person went through. Yep. So we always got to be mindful of why we think the thoughts we think and why do we believe the things we believe and what are we afraid of or insecurities we're afraid to face about our own lives. Because we all need each other. No one's better than no one because no one can be you. I can't be you. You can't be me. So I can't compare myself. Right. Oh, bro, I can do that. You can't. I'm better than you. It's like, I can't even be you. If you can't be a person, you can't be better than them.
Yeah.
Now, there's people that are gifted in their certain sport and thing. Like, yeah, of course, Usain Bolt is faster. I mean, of course. Like, that's what he does. But it's not about that. It's about he's living his purpose. That's his purpose. My purpose is different. So I think people got to get in alignment with their purpose and get to understand who am I, Because once you figure that out, everything else don't even mean anything. It's just like, that's cool. Because you evolve and you realize the things you thought were things don't really mean anything. And all you really want is meaningful relationships and people around you that love you for you and not what you can do for them.
Right.
And it's I want to move into like the next topic or just the next little brief discussion before we get off here. Is like, so we got love, we got family. So in your definition, what is family to you?
That's a funny conversation.
It came to my spirit. I got notes for you today. But we had to tap into them, but that's like one of the notes is about family for sure.
I think the reason why it's a funny conversation is just so people understand, like, because of how I grew up, Like when people talk about having a best friend, or like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have somebody that when I was a kid, like, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? And I always was jealous of that in a sense. Like, I see people, they like, oh yeah, this is my boy from 2nd grade. You know what I mean? You see him on stage, like, I'm like, yo, like,
you don't
I was trying to figure out how not to get beat in the second. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to figure out, like,
problems
where my mom was living at or drinking or whatever. And so, I remember getting older and people saying things like, I love you. And I remember not feeling I love you back, but I would say it because of the words, right? It really wasn't until my aunt, you know, overcoming everything that I was going through. Because when I first came out of foster care, I didn't want to say what I had experienced, you know, so she didn't really know how to raise me. She like, why are you so, you know, quiet, or why are you so passive aggressive? Why are you so all these things? And so because I didn't know how to express myself, it frustrated her, right? And so once I actually felt my closest thing that I can consider to unconditional love from my aunt, it was like I realized what family was to me at that moment, right? And so what I would tell the people is, just because somebody's not your blood doesn't mean they're not your family. Right. And I think a lot of times, let's not talk about the bad family, right? I don't even want to give that no energy, right? Because sometimes we give the negativity so much energy. Let's talk about the family that you found at your job. Right. You might have had a job at, for example, my first job was selling shoes at Sears, right? My first official job, I guess we should say, right? And my guy at the time, his name was Lauren. We would work together. And like, bro, there was times where I'll be so tired, he'd be like, bro, go ahead and take a nap in the back.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, bro, I got some extra food, because he knew I didn't have the money, right? Or he had a little car. So it's like, this guy, to me, treating me closer to family than, you know, some people that I know that's family. So for me, I think family is something that is in your heart. Right? You don't have to necessarily be.
My big cousin that I looked up to, really on the low. We don't talk as much, but when we talk, it's solid. It's efficient. We don't need to talk every day. We don't need to talk every week or every month. But when we get that, it's love.
Yeah. Man. Like my team, I have a really great organization of people that, bro, that's my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I love the fact that they might be different skin complexions. They might be different ethnicities. They might speak different languages. But you know when it's real, like, you know when it's like we fighting for the same cause. You know what I mean? We believe in each other. There's limited judgment, right? And things like that. So I think for me, those are some of the things that are important to me. But I think having a family, this is a different topic. Sometimes it's scary.
That's good though.
There's gonna be a time where somebody gonna be running around, and it's gonna be, that's my responsibility.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we so badly. So, for example, just to get a little bit vulnerable with people, like I did some personal courses, and I did a lot of like self-help work, and I got counseling for myself. Right. But that's a whole nother live we can do.
Yeah.
And I forgave my father. Right. And I was seeking out a relationship with my father. But my father, to me, when I think about the characteristics and his personality and his traits, they don't align with where I'm going. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I love you, but they don't align with where I'm going. So I'd rather my actual family, be with people that are in alignment, right, with themselves and where they're going. And I think those are the people I resonate the most with.
And that's powerful. I mean, as long as you okay with that and you feel confident and you comfortable, at least you're honest about it. You know, it's to get people where the pain just still sits there. But
you gotta release the pain.
You gotta release it, bro.
You gotta release, for sure. But I highly recommend people get help. Right?
Yes.
Like there's not another way to say it. You can't figure it out on your own. You can only do so much, or maybe you can, y'all. But like,
I got help. I got about 3 or 4 different people I go see.
I got help, and they helped me. And I've taken classes and courses. It's deeper than just, reading some book or something like that. I think for a lot of people on here. What about you? If you had to, let's say, E, what percentage of your drive came from, and I'm just gonna say it, bro. So you can say yes or no. But what percentage of your drive came from wanting your family to be proud of you?
Probably like 95% of it. 95.
Wow.
And the thing is, bro, like it messed me up when I'm on the show. I'm taking the cameras back to Baltimore, and I walk in, and everybody gets up and they're praising me. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, this is what I had to do to get the love I wanted. And that quick second, mind you, cameras and everything. But what I realized that I had to go through that to be where I'm at. Because if I got that love back then, I wouldn't be who I am now.
Facts.
And I just I always tell my mom and dad to this day, and I love them dearly. I don't need your money. I just needed your support and love. I'm gonna go get the money. My energy is gonna bring the money. I just want the love. That's all I ever wanted was the love. You know what I'm saying? From my family, people who raised me or people I looked up to. So that's why I give so much love, right? So on my journey, I had to learn how to receive it because I was neglecting it.
Wow.
Because when I didn't get it, it hurt. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just stiff arm and I'm gonna just keep giving it over here and I'm gonna keep stiff arming over here. So it's like it's off balance. So when I went on the show, it allowed me to receive love, intangible, right? So then all the material things that I knew I should have had or wanted start coming in because I let that side of life come in and I wasn't like shying away from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I opened myself up to receive it. But yeah, bro, like 95%, bro, that's all I ever wanted. I just because I'm so good at motivating people and inspiring people and empowering because I understand the benefit of it. All I need is something small. You just give me one thing. Oh yeah, I'm about to go to work. I was talking to my niece father the other day. He's like, man, she love her uncle, man. She loves all she talk about. I'm like, really? My niece 11. She you know, I don't talk to her like that. But that little bit, oh yeah, I'm about to go 10 times harder.
Right.
I FaceTime him. He 2 years old. FaceTime, he start running in place. He doing push-ups. That's all I need. I don't need much, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, energy, I'm gonna run it all the way up because I always need an edge. I need an anchor. I need something to light me up just a little bit more. Okay, I needed that. Okay. Oh, that's how they feel? Okay, cool. So at the end of the day, man, that's all it is love and support. Because when you get everything, you want to give it away. Or you want to share it with someone. You know, you want. I did a NLP course 2 years ago, and it's something called parts integration. It's an exercise you do. You have your hands apart like this, right? And it's a script they give you, of course. So part of me wanted to receive, and part of me didn't want to receive. So I'm trying to figure out. It's like I want to go to New York. I want to live in New York, but I want to live in LA. So the script helps you bring everything together. Then you clap your hands. So when I got to the end of the script and my hands started coming together, it was like all I wanted. Everything I'm doing is to provide and prepare myself for a family that I always wanted. And I'm thinking I'm doing it for my family that's already here in Baltimore. And as soon as I got that and I finished it, my mom texted me, I love you, son. Mind you, she don't even know where I'm at.
Wow.
I was like, yo.
Wow.
So today, that's what I'm doing it for. Family, love, support. Because for you and I, we know what it takes to have success. But what is success if you can't share it with someone or you can't give it away? So for me, it's just, man, I've learned a lot about people, the world we live in, how people process reality, and how we take each other for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like someone is every day, but yet won't ask the advice they need to go far. I remember you told me one day, like, yo, bro, just ask, bro. If you need something, just let me know. Like, come on, bro. Like, what you doing? We don't do that here. Like, I don't remember the moment, but I remember the moment.
Right.
I had to tell a friend one day, it's like 6 years ago. I was like, bro, I don't know how to ask for help. That's why I don't ask. I don't know how to. And so we got to know the people in our lives, the life we live, to be on these phones, to talk this talk, these books we read. We got to stop taking life for granted, man.
Yeah.
We're living to live. We living with a purpose. So we got to not only put on for ourselves, but the people that's coming up because they need inspiration. They need motivation. They need to see. Like my last question before we get off here is, how's your love life? And then the last question is, do you see yourself in a chairman position in Herbalife one day?
So quickly, you know, I'm reading the book, Steve Harvey, Act Like a Success.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not a huge Steve Harvey fan personally, but I'm reading this book and I'm like, yo, this is good.
Yeah, he got good books, bro. I really like his books.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a part where he talks about asking for help.
Asking.
Right? And he said something very important. He was like, look, for a long time in my life, I was like, I got this. I'm gonna do it on my own. I don't want to ask for help. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I got some places with that. He said, but there are people right now that, you know, he's like, Tyler Perry don't mind talking to me. He's like, the president of the United States, this was Obama at the time, don't mind talking to me, right? And I was like, damn, that's deep. He said, there are a lot of successful people right now waiting for somebody to hit them and be like, yo, like, how can I create something for myself? And they'll give you the blueprint. Yeah. Yeah. If you're actually doing the work, the necessary work to get it. Now, if he said, but now what also the problem with it is people only call you when they need help. Versus if you got a relationship, let's say you got a relationship with X and X producer, right? Because it seems like you got some good relationships with people. Yeah. And you might just need to call that person and be like, yo, let's get lunch and I want to share with you some of my ideas. And they might just be waiting for E to say, how can you help me get my own show? Yeah. But because you're waiting for them to call you or something to happen, it'll never happen. Right? He said, you can't be afraid to ask for help. You can't be afraid to ask for what you want. Right? Like a company called me, I'm not going to say that, and a company called me today and they wanted to give me some more stuff. Right? Yeah. And they like, yo, we want it. And I love their stuff, bro. I love it. When I say I love it, I would already buy it. Yeah. And they like, yo, we want to give you some more stuff. And I'm like, but I'm supposed to be getting paid for this. Yeah. Right? They pay somebody else thousands of dollars and give them stuff. Why am I just taking the stuff? Yeah. Yeah. Right? And I said, because I'm too afraid to ask for what I want. There you go. That part. Right? And I have a relationship with them that's good. I never come to them and ask for nothing. And so I think sometimes we gotta, like you said, you might have a problem with that. I know I have a problem with that at some point too. Because we're so used to giving to other people, right? And I'm so and I don't mean this in a cocky way for anybody that's listening to this. I'm at peace, y'all. Like when I wake up, I literally be like, I'm good. Like, because everything that, when you talked about the things earlier, everything that I have in my life, I feel like I deserve it. Yeah, you do, bro. Right? But the thing is, I was patient. Yes. Right? So some of the items that I have, I'm not going to say what they are. Some of the items that I have, even though I could financially afford them, I didn't buy them. I waited until I helped enough people in the world to go, okay, Style, now you can get X, Y, and Z. Right? It's not about the things. I want to be that. So everybody that's reading this, you might want to buy a massage gun, right? Yeah. As an example, right? Sometimes people think it's big, right? And you can financially afford this, right? But you might be saying, okay, look, I'm gonna wait until I help a couple more people, lose some weight if you're a personal trainer. Yeah. Right? Or if you have a tax business, I'm gonna help a couple more people get a tax return. And then once I do that, then I'm gonna buy this. This item becomes way more valuable than it was before to you. Absolutely. And I think for me, that's just my principle for big purchases, right? I wait until I feel like I've done enough to feel like that particular item, because now it makes the item more valuable to me. Yeah, and you don't take it for granted. Right. So the item can be very small, but when you wear it or you endorse it, it's big to people. Exactly. Because the energy you bring behind it. Exactly. You just wear it because you can wear it. You wear it with like pride and passion. Like, yeah, man, where my lint roll? Or where my Exactly. Because the cat pulled up on me the other day, right? I'm driving, enjoying listening to music. I got the top down. He said, man, old head, right? He said, hey. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, man, I bet you get all the girls in that, right? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but because I didn't have time to really explain to him, like, nah. Because if I would have said nah, it would have killed his dream. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. But in my head, I'm like, nah, not even, right? I didn't get it for that. right?
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, nah, bro, I feel like a little kid in a candy store in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I got it.
Absolutely.
Right? And some people are getting it for what they want other people to think or feel, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got to just be okay with his judgment. His judgment of me was, I got this for that.
Yeah.
I don't have time to explain to him that's not true.
Yeah, that's not true, right? Bro.
And so when it comes to my love life, I think is better because, and this is just me trying to be honest so people see why I'm looking off, because I'm learning how to love myself even more.
Got it.
Right? And I think a lot of times I went a lot of years with I went a lot of years at manipulating people to get what I want, because I grew up with survival of the fittest, right? And it took a young lady, I'm not gonna say her name because she's kind of famous now, which is hilarious, right? It took a young lady that I was talking to say to me one day, she said, Style, I feel like your mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, right? She's like, nah, bro. Like, I just feel like, and she sat down with me. We went over a couple things. Never talked to her again after that, right? But her saying that planted a seed in my mind to have to learn to forgive myself because I lost my mom so young.
Yeah.
I was seeking out love and compassion and all these things from women, right? Versus having it for myself. So what I would tell anybody on here that's looking for the next Bachelor, right? Right? Or whatever, right? That I would tell them, in my personal opinion, and I hate to give you guys relationship advice because I'm single, but what I would tell everybody on here is learn how to love yourself before you go seeking out this dream person, dream job, dream body, dream car, dream house, dream all this shit, because what you got, right? You might look fantastic and have financial wealth or none of that, but you ain't complete.
Not complete.
You know, so that would be my opinion on that. I don't know what bro, I know you used to have love shirts. Something you used to have. I forgot what they was, but I know you got better advice when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nose, man. You know, people always say, why are you single, right? You know, and I say single's a choice. Mm-hmm. Right? Single's a choice. And I had to tell, it's funny, I dated a girl probably like 4 years before the show, but her mom always just loved my content, give me motivation. And she's like, well, I hope one day you find love and it finds you, you deserve it. And she's like, well, why not now? And I was like, man, I'm still learning how to love myself. Mm. Because what happens is when we get in a relationship and we try to present love to others, we don't, like you said, we don't have enough for ourselves. More so, we can't even love them the way they deserve to be loved because we don't even love ourselves the way we need to be loved. So then it's like, it's not even 100% of love. It's just kind of like we're winging it. And I also would tell men and women, like especially men, like until you find your purpose and you find out your mission in life, you shouldn't be with a woman, right? You shouldn't have a wife because you don't want to waste her time or waste her energy or push her back because you're not where you need to be. Mm. You know, because if you're not where you need to be, and women got to understand this too, like you might find a guy, the sex might be great, you might have good times, conversation, but if he's not where he needs to be and you're not where you need to be, it's not going to work. The love will never work because it has to make sense. When you got to think about it and you got to overcompensate and overgive, and it won't help. So I think the most important thing is for most people, even people in relationship, still a continuously growth of finding more love for you by you. You have to love you.
Do you have one or two tangible things that someone can go, I need to love myself more? Where can I start?
Talking to yourself in a loving way. I love myself. I'm amazing. I appreciate all the good things that come with life. Sitting and go on YouTube and put in healing frequencies, love frequencies, and meditating that, right? You need to be in that vibration. So talking to yourself and putting yourself in a emotional state of love, right? And I'm not talking about romantic, let's make love, but I'm talking about when you feel good. You know, when you're eating ice cream when you 5, you love that, right?
Yeah.
You know, those new Jordans on your feet when you 10, you love. How do you feel? That's a love frequency. Mm-hmm. So put yourself in places, in positions where you can get more of that and feel what that feels like. for yourself first. And
Facts.
then you'll understand how you should love or want to love someone else. But if you're not giving that to yourself, it's gonna be hard to give it to someone else, because then when they're not giving it to you, not because they're not loving you, they're not giving it to you because you don't have it for yourself.
Yeah.
So when we don't have love for ourselves, we project the love our partner's not giving us. It's like, no, they are giving you love. You're just not giving the love you're giving them to yourself, so they can't love you the way you deserve to be loved. So it's like, well, look, man, I just gave you $100 and you got $5 left and you mad because they didn't give you $50 back. But it's like, well, you act like you had more than what you gave me.
Yeah.
Like,
somebody said it's miracle season. Let's go.
Yeah, baby. So that's what it is, man. This was powerful, man. And
I agree with that 1,000%, bro, because we say enough to ourselves that we doubt ourselves so much in one day.
Yeah.
I was listening to something. It was like it's like 14,000 times a day we say we can't do something in our brain.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'm too scared to make the call or the text or follow up with my business or call that person for this movie or start this new book. It's like we're saying it without saying it out loud. So the more you can start saying things to yourself like, I love you, you're amazing, you're strong.
Yeah.
Like that combined, we might not ever get to the 14,000 mark, but at least we can bring that number down some so that we can know that, I wouldn't say what to receive from other people, but we won't even attract some people in our lives because of the way we treat ourselves.
Attract those people because we're already in a loving frequency. We're only going to attract people that love themselves the way we love ourselves. And they're not worrying about what you got or what you're doing or how much you're, because they got their own thing. One thing I learned, a person who got stuff going on for themselves and they're working hard, they're not focused on what you have that they don't have. They just, that's Style Bell right there. He getting so I'm getting, it's just no competition. It's
There's
just
an abundance.
Yeah, man. So
to your last question, E, absolutely, bro. Like, so the highest position in our company will be considered something called Founder Circle, actually, right?
Yeah.
And so that means you've helped. Well, actually, they just came out with another one, but let's just say Founder Circle. That means you help like 10 people basically get to where I'm at. Right? Yeah. Separate people. Now that 10 people is going to involve thousands of families being changed. And I was talking to one of my good friends yesterday and I was like, yo, I said, bro, it's beautiful what we have. I said, what I'm learning, because I've been doing this now 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. And probably 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in, I was set up for Chairman's Club. Like I could see it. Okay, this could be that. Right. Yeah. And now I'm 10 years in and we haven't hit that. But what I learned along the way is enjoy the process.
Man, my manager said that last night, bro.
Okay.
Last night, enjoy. He said, E, let's have fun with this. Let's smile. Because a lot of people don't get to do things and let this enjoy it, bro.
I'm loving, I love what and I think this might be weird for some people to hear. I love the unknown because I'm on my path.
Yeah.
Right. And so once I get to the chairmans and my business will have more than tripled 5 times. Right. Sure. So I'm already feeling like, right. Where I don't even got a word for it, bro. So I can't imagine what that vibration is going to bring. Absolutely. And so I'm almost glad that God hasn't given it to me yet. Right. Because it's like, I'm going to enjoy the vibration of going up that way, down that path and going to that place. And if I'm already learning how to be a better person at myself now, I can just imagine what's going to be created. You know what I mean? Like I can just imagine. So my goal this year though, is to know who in my business will be my Chairman's Club lines. That's one of my goals this year. Right. But what I'm not putting upon it like I used to in the past is there has to be this strict timeline to it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm okay with just knowing like, yo, E is my guy. That's my guy. Right. And so now I can invest into my guy. This is my person. Right. Because I'm like fired up to invest in the people that want to go. Right. That's hungry for what they want, because like you and I, we wish somebody would have been like, yo, like, or you may have it and we may have it now, but we wish somebody was like, I got you. Yeah. Like, let's go. Right. I see you hungry, you dedicated, you driven. And so that's what I am to my business now. I want to be that guy to it.
And you are. To a lot of people that's not even in the business, you're that just in people's lives because you wear it on you every day. You wake up.
Yeah.
Like you don't become inspiration. You you don't become success, you are it. So that's all you're going to attract. And it just, the more you, I feel like the more you climb, the more you just going to want to share and give, because you know how to get there. It's just all about being there and helping other people get there and understanding like your position. I see you as a chairman. I see your face on a big billboard, you know, CEO, VP of Herbalife, Style Bell.
Nah, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be more than that, but I appreciate it, bro. So when you get the show, bro, just make sure you bring me back.
Man, listen, you speaking into existence, brother.
This makes me, hey, everybody that's on here that's watching this and that know E, and y'all know this man need to have his show. First of all we got to do is, we already had he got the blueprint, right? So we got to get the viewers. We need to get E like what, 3 to 5 million viewers every show, right? I can almost guarantee you at that point, there's no network on this planet that would deny that.
Yeah, it's coming, bro. Divine timing.
I'm just saying, bro. Just make sure you bring me back, bro. Don't forget.
You said was patience, bro. One thing I realized.
Bring me back to the show, E.
You gonna be on. You gonna be the first guest.
I want to be like the third though, because I want the first one to be cool.
Speaking to the existence, so you got to at least be the first of the first. You got to at least have first dibs on something.
I want you to have your seat swagged out. You know what I mean? I want everything to be smooth.
It's gonna be. It's coming. Trust me. It's time. With that being said, man, I love you. I appreciate it. I honor our friendship. I don't take it for granted. Continue to prosper and win and own everything you have. You deserve it. And let's continue to change lives together for each other and for the world we live in, man. Let's make the world better.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed one.
Share this on my page. So I'm gonna share it. And yeah, guys, follow Style Bell. Sir Style Bell. Follow him now. He's the man. All right, bro. Peace out.
All right.
Phenomenal interview. Wow. There it is. I'm about to put it up. Go follow Style and yeah, that's it. We out.